Joining me now is UFC flyweight contender and title challenger now, Alex Perez, who's got a big fight coming up here. UFC 255. He'll be stepping in for Cody Garbrandt against Deiveson Figueiredo on pay-per-view. Alex, man, we've had a lot of chats, and you're always a cheery guy. You're always, willing to talk and open up. But I have to say, this one maybe is a little bit different. How are you feeling, man?
I feel good, man. Just same old stuff, different day.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we were just talking off camera. You're in the midst of training camp and preparing for this fight. Let's hear it from your perspective. I mean, 6 days ago, we got the news that you would be stepping in. Huge opportunity. First UFC title fight for you. Just walk me through it. How did you hear about it? And talk to me about those, the experience of being offered your first UFC title fight.
My manager called me. I can't remember around what time it was because he's in Abu Dhabi. He called me and he's like, "Hey, Cody's out," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You're in," and I was like, I thought he was kind of messing for a little bit. I was like, "Wait," like I was already halfway asleep, so it took me a little bit. But once he told me, I was just laying in bed and I couldn't even go back to sleep. I was like, "Oh man, this is." I mean, everybody in this sport that goes into UFC or in general works for is a title shot in their organization to be the best, be called the best, and it's one of those things I couldn't sleep at all. I was like, oh man, and just happy and glad to have the opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And it was kind of an interesting. Your division was in an interesting place, right? The last time we spoke, you were out in Abu Dhabi, and we didn't know who was going to get the next title shot. And there was you, there was Brandon Moreno, there was Askar Askarov. Then Cody Garbrandt ends up being the one to get inserted. So, how nice does it feel that sure, they put Cody in at first, and it was going to be a big fight. People know his name. But how nice is it that out of the rest of the pack that they were like, hey, now that that fight's out of the way, Alex Perez is our guy.
It felt good. I mean, just basically shows that they think I'm a good fighter for one, and to have the opportunity to go over Brandon's ranked above me, so as Askar to go over them. Like I said, I felt like I deserved the title shot before them, but it's just kind of one of those things you leave it up to the matchmakers and can't really do anything about it. If they pick you, pick someone else. There's no reason to complain or to be upset. You'll get your shot eventually.
How far into camp were you when you got, like, how many weeks have you been in for, say, a training camp for?
Man, I train year round, so my training camp is year round. I stay ready to fight. Obviously, when I don't have a fight, the sparring the sparring is kind of limited. Maybe once a week. Sometimes I don't even spar, but it just all depends. I'm always in shape, always ready. So basically, it's just adjustments that I'm doing. It's nothing like I'm trying to get in shape. I'm trying to do this. I'm already in great shape. I'm only gonna get better shape, and obviously the weight's coming down. So I didn't really have to make too many changes.
Yeah. So you're going to the gym every day. You're preparing for Brandon Moreno, and you're working your butt off. But when you go to the gym, the next you find out about the fight, and the next day you go to the gym. It's a little bit different. Is the training a little bit different? Is there a little bit more adrenaline going when you're thinking about what you're preparing for?
No, not really. If I was like Brandon Moreno, for example, like I was supposed to fight him. If that doesn't get you freaking awake and get you going, that you're gonna fight someone in the UFC, then I don't know what will. The title is a prize, basically. Deiveson's a fight I have to fight. I don't take it as like I'm fighting for the title. Like, yeah, I am, but to think about all that, it's way too far out there. Let's just worry about one thing at a time. If I do everything right in training camp, I'll get the result I want, and I'll get the prize that everybody's been wanting.
Yeah, and Deiveson Figueiredo, obviously, you look at his record on. You could know nothing about the guy. You look at his record on paper; it's very impressive. So, what do you think that you're going to be able to do? Maybe that some of these other guys haven't been able to execute against him. Do you feel like when you watch him and you study him or you prepare for him that there's some things that you see that you're like, man, I'm going to get him in these areas?
Well, I feel like everybody in the top 5, top 10 is can be being in any day, but I feel like I just bring the pressure. I bring the size for the flyweight. I'm a big flyweight. I bring the size. I bring the pressure. I bring the wrestling and the cardio. So I feel like we match up well. I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. People are counting it out, because obviously Cody's out, but I feel like we're gonna steal the show.
Have you reflected at all too? Because I think I'm trying to remember the timeline, but a couple years ago or a year and a half ago, when the flyweight division was kind of uncertain, we had chatted, and you said that you felt comfortable at bantamweight, but flyweight was the place that you feel like you could go the furthest. So is it? Do you ever reflect on that? Like, man, like a year ago, I didn't even know how long I would have a job in this weight class for, and now here I am. I'm going to be on pay-per-view fighting for a world title.
Yeah. I try to reflect. I reflect all the time, just how grateful I am for the opportunity to fight in the UFC, being able to make money during this hard times. Just being a part of the best company, and it's always, like, how would I say it? Like, I imagine myself where I would be if if I wasn't here and stuff like that. So I always kind of just grateful for just being here and just having a job and doing that. I know they're cutting a lot of 25ers when it first started. And luckily I didn't get cut, and then luckily I had the options to move up and then come back down. So like I said, I reflect all the time. Just happy to be here, happy to have this opportunity.
Yeah. And I'm glad I'm catching you today because, I don't know how much you go on Twitter, you check out social media, but earlier today there was some talk about Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier were tweeting back and forth. And, it seems like all parties, UFC, McGregor, Poirier, are all interested in the fight in some regard, but Poirier and McGregor kind of were talking about the card that you're going to be on as a potential date for their fight. So from your perspective, would you prefer to kind of headline your own show, or would you kind of want to be the supporting act of a fight that's obviously going to have a tremendous amount of eyes on it? Do you have a preference on either one of those scenarios?
Not really, man. I tell people all the time, first fight of the night or the last fight of the night, I get paid the same. So doesn't matter to me. The sooner the better, just because I can go eat right after.
Yeah, there you go, man. And talk to me about what you expect out of this fight. If I'm a fan, I sit down on the couch to watch this one. Is there a specific way you see it playing out, or kind of what should fans expect to see out of you guys?
I think it's gonna be fight of the night. We both like to go in there. We both come forward. We both like to throw. If people have seen my fights, I don't take a step back. He doesn't take step backs either. So I'm expecting a five-round war. I've been 5 rounds before, so I know the cardio can hold up, and I've seen him go to the decision a few times, so I know his cardio can hold up. So it's just gonna be a battle, a stand-up battle. I believe.
Yeah, and are you concerned? He had that blip in the radar where he had some weight issues, and it seemed like last time everything went smooth. So, are you concerned about that at all? That anything could happen there? Or is that not even something that's on your radar?
No, no, it doesn't bother me. Honestly, when you miss, especially like the way, like for me, I give it a rule. If you're like, about half a pound to a pound off, okay, something just went wrong, in your diet, something. But if you're more than that, from that point on, it's kind of like, oh man, you might have had a bad training camp and stuff. But I mean, I can't focus on him. I can't worry about if he's gonna make weight or not. It doesn't really matter. I'm still fighting.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm sure you've thought about this quite a bit in your head and envisioned it. But it sounds like such a corny question, but it's an important one. What would it feel like, and what would it mean to you to have that UFC gold wrapped around your waist after a career and really a life's amount of work to get there?
It would mean the world to me. Just knowing that all the sacrifices I've done, from birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, being away from family, not being able to travel with family, sacrificing, not being able to go out all the time, not being not being able to enjoy yourself as much as other people. It's living this strict lifestyle. It would mean the world to me just to prove everybody wrong. I've had people tell me time and time again that I didn't belong here. I wasn't good enough to ever make it to UFC. And now look at me, I'm fighting for the title. So it just, it'll be the cherry on top winning that belt.
For sure, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck in trying to do that. I really appreciate the time, Alex. I'm happy for you, man. And best of luck at UFC 255.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you having me.
Of course.